Hey guys, welcome to Akash Biology, and the topic that we'll be discussing today is the physiological anatomy and then some of the secretions of the salivary glands. So we have mainly known that there are three pairs of salivary glands. So they are only the major salivary glands. So there are three pairs of major salivary glands. So these major salivary glands are well known to us. They are parotid, submaxillary or submandibular, mandibular, and sublingual. So these are the major three pairs of salivary glands. There are also some minor forms of salivary glands. So the minor salivary glands are the lingual mucus salivary glands, lingual serous salivary glands. Then third one is buccal salivary glands, then labial salivary glands, and then palatal salivary glands. So these three are the major salivary glands and these are the minor salivary glands. Now these salivary glands are mainly being classified into three types. First of all, one having the serous secretions, second one having the mucus secretions, and third one having both the serous and the mucus secretions. So serous is mainly a watery fluid type secretions, and the serous secretions are being given by the parotid and then lingual serous, as the name suggests. So these both are the serous. These both type have the serous secretions. That is mainly asked in entrance examinations. Second one coming on to the mucus secretions. So as the name suggests, lingual mucus. Second one is the buccal and the palatal. These three R's have the mucus secretions, so mucus type of salivary glands, and the remaining that is the submandibular, sublingual, and labial. That is the three. These have the mixed type of secretions. So again coming on to the review, the serous type of secretions are present in, that is, they have the black arrow, parotid gland and the lingual serous. Second one is the mucus secretion that having on the blue tick, that is lingual mucus, buccal and the palatal form of salivary glands. And third one is the mixed form that has got both the serous as well as the mucus form of secretions, that is submandibular, sublingual and the labial form of glands. Now this is the brief review of the salivary glands. Now coming on to the histological structure or the structures. So each salivary gland is formed by the individual acinus. So the acinus is a functional unit of the salivary glands. If we see the structure of acinus, we can have it has the central lumen and then pyramidal like cells. So pyramidal like triangular cells over here. It has got the basal nucleus and various secretory granules as well. So each of the acinus has got a central lumen, and the lumen is connected to a duct. So this duct is known as intercalated duct. Now various intercalated duct will combine to form intralobular duct. Now various intralobular duct, like as this intralobular will combine to form interlobular, and various interlobular ducts will join to form the main duct of the salivary glands. So this is about the ductal system. So any question will be asked about ductal system, we can clarify this. As the acinus will give rise to intercalated, various intercalary will combine to form intralobular, and now various intralobular will combine to form interlobular, and various interlobular will, that is the various lobules, will combine to form the main duct. Now coming on to the individual salivary glands. First of all, the parotid. So the parotid salivary gland, coming on to this one is the parotid. So parotid is the largest salivary gland. This one is the largest, and it is placed over here, that is in front of cheek and below the ear. So it is placed over here. It is the 30 to 40 gram in weight, and the secretion of this parotid salivary gland is drained onto the upper second molar teeth. Upper second molar teeth. So this question is mainly asked. So it is drained by a duct. and that duct is named as extension duct. Extensions duct. It is 35 to 40 millimeter long. So this one is the largest salivary gland, 30 to 40 gram in weight. It is situated over here. So the duct that is known as the extensions duct at 30 to 40 millimeter in length will drain the secretion in the second upper molar teeth. Now second one is the submaxillary or the submandibular. Submaxillary or submandibular. It is situated in the submaxillary triangle over here. It is situated in submaxillary triangle over here, that is medial to the mandible. It is 8 to 10 gram in weight. Now the secretions of this gland is drained into the side of the frenulum that I have discussed in the structure of the submandibular or the mandibular caruncula. So the secretion of this gland is drained into the on the floor of the tongue, that is the submaxillary caruncula, that is situated on the side of the frenulum of tongue. So first of all, we have to study the structure of tongue that I have discussed in the previous video. So the submandibular caruncula, and the secretion is drained by a duct, and that duct is known as Watson duct. Watson duct. So this is the duct that drains the secretion of submaxillary submandibular glands. And third one is the sublingual. So it is the smallest major salivary glands. It has 2 to 3 gram weight. It is also situated over here, that is at the floor of the mouth. And there are various ducts, 10 to 15 ducts, and these ducts are known as ducts of Ravenous. So from the sinus, the main duct arises as mini ducts, that 10 to 15 ducts of Ravenous. One of the ducts of Ravenous is very large, that is known as Bartholin duct. So it will also drain the secretions on the side of the frenulum, and this structure is known as sublingual caruncula. So this is all about the salivary glands. Now coming on to the secretions of the salivary glands. All we have known, the secretions of the salivary gland is a watery fluid that is known as saliva. So the contributions of the various salivary glands for the saliva are, so parotid gland only gives 25% secretions. Submandibular glands has most contribution of 70%, and sublingual has very less, only 5% of the total secretions of the salivary glands. So now coming on to the volume. So volume of saliva that is secreted per day is 1 to 1.5 liter per day, that is 1 ml per minute. Its reaction is acidic, maybe 6.35 approx pH. So pH is 6.35, and it is hypotonic to plasma. So now coming on to, so each individual sinus will first of all secrete the saliva rich in sodium and chloride, that is isotonic to plasma, that it has tonicity or normality is equal to that of the plasma present or extracellular fluid antibody. While it is passing through the duct, the sodium is being reabsorbed into the extracellular fluid, and potassium is secreted over here. Now in order to maintain the electrical neutrality or electrical equilibrium, the chloride is also absorbed into the extracellular fluid, and it is accompanied by the secretions of bicarbonate ions. So at last what we can see, the saliva at the time of secretion is more in the concentrations of the sodium ion and the chloride ion, but at the final time of secretion that is poured in our mouth, it has a high secretions of the potassium and bicarbonate ions. So these are mainly being done by the ductal systems, but it is also present but very less concentrations, but the potassium and the bicarbonate ions present in the high concentrations. Now coming on to the total contents or constituents of saliva, it has mainly got the 99.5% water, only solid as 0.5%. It is again divided into two forms, organic, then after that the inorganic. Now organic has enzymes, so the various enzymes present in the saliva is, so most important is the salivary amylase that acts on the starch present in our food in the mouth and converts it into maltose and dextrin. So the starch in our mouth is acted upon by salivary amylase into maltose and dextrin. Second one is I have to see maltase. So maltase acts on the maltose to form glucose. Similarly, there is also the lingual lipase that acts on the milk fats. Then lysozyme. So lysozyme has got the antimicrobial property. There is phosphatase. Carbonic anhydrous is also present, but it's very less concentrations. Now coming on to the second, other substances. It has got albumin, mucin, free blood group antigen. Then after that, the IgA antibody. The IgA, it is a secretory antibody, so it is found in every secretions of our body. Now coming on to the inorganic. So inorganic has the sodium, potassium, chloride, bicarbonates, and various lot more things. And there are some gases as well. So some gases are oxygen, nitrogen, and CO2. So normally the glucose is not present in the saliva, but in the case of the diabetes mellitus, the glucose may also be present in the saliva. Now it is supplied by both systems, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, and the stimulations of the both system will tend to increase the secretions of the saliva. But when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, then there is increase in the watery secretions of saliva. So more of the water is being secreted. But when the sympathetic nervous system is activated, mostly enzymes is, so dry form of saliva is being secreted, means more in enzyme concentration and less in the water concentrations. So this all is a brief review about the salivary glands. I hope you like the video and please tap the subscribe button. Thank you.